What's up guys, welcome back to Finance to Fly. My name is Luke and I'm here to help you elevate your travel while minimizing your spending. Today we have a new episode of Travel Rewards Weekly, What's New, where we cover all the things happening in the points and miles space over the last 2 weeks. Let's jump in. First things first, we had a couple new sign-up bonuses come out. First one is coming on the Venture card from Capital One. Usually it's just 75,000 points sign-up bonus, but now it's 75,000 points and a $250 travel credit through the travel portal after $4,000 spent in the first 3 months. Overall, I do like when Capital One increases these sign-up bonuses because they're just solid. $250 through the travel portal is great, not to mention you're getting $750 technically through the travel portal with those 75,000 points, plus another 8,000 points because this is a 2 point per dollar spent minimum multiplier on this card, so you're getting really $830 plus $250, which is almost $1,100 in travel through the travel portal. And of course you can transfer those points out, but just an overall a good offer on the card. And if you don't have it, it's worth looking at. They are very selective in who they allow in, and by the way, make sure you apply for the right card and you are getting a sign-up bonus because they have 2 different flavors of every card, one with for good credit, one for excellent credit. The excellent credit one has the sign-up bonus, the good one does not, so make sure you are watching out for that. Then IHG also increased their reward offers on both their personal cards. For the traveler card, which is the $0 annual fee card, you're going to earn 120,000 points after, well, $10,000 spent in the first 6 months. It is broken up in 90 and 30 in terms of 90,000 points after 2,000 spent in the first 3 months, and if you spend the extra 10,000 on the card, you're going to get an extra 30,000 points. Preferably though, you should just go to the $99 annual fee card because you're going to earn 175,000 points after $5,000 spent in the first 3 months. That is a much better offer. I'm not saying the travel card is bad, but you're only getting really 90,000 points after $2,000 spent. You have to spend another $8,000 to get the 30,000 points. Just get the 175,000 points with the higher level card. I think that's a better offer. And honestly, if you haven't had the IHG card yet, you may want to look at jumping on it. It's good for, I guess, middle tier hotel stays. You can stay at Kimpton's Hotel Indigos. You can get almost 4 nights free with this. It's pretty good. Now to talk about a couple new cards that are going to be hitting the market. Cardless launched an Avelo card. It's for Avelo Airlines. It's a decent card. Did not do too much reading on it, just saw the headline, but figured if you do fly Avelo a lot, maybe worth looking at. Probably not though, just because it's coming from Cardless, it's not going to be the best offer. Disney and Chase also announced that they're going to be releasing a high-end Disney card. There's not too many details on it, but the sign-up bonus is around $600 in value. I don't know too many people that have the Disney card. I think it's a very niche group to have it, but we'll have to see what the details on this card are once they come out. Could be a solid value for those that I guess go to Disney once a year, and if it is, it might make sense for them. And then lastly, on the new cards, Air France and KLM refreshed their US Bank US version of their card. Not much was changed. They added a couple extra earning categories, stuff like that. Nothing to look at though. Just wanted to make a note that it was updated. Last things last, there was not a lot of news this last 2 weeks. One thing I did want to point out though is Hilton did go with the points guy and they did interview the CEO. One of the things he did mention was that Hilton has absorbed most of the inflation costs over the last 5 years, and I wanted to bring that up because I think it's a good thing to, I guess, think about when it comes to devaluation, and are they actually absorbing those rates? Well, if you noticed, 150,000 points, 250,000 points is not just the 20% inflation we've gotten over the last few years, 60%. If not more. I think there is a good point that inflation has caused a lot of the devaluations, but the devaluation shouldn't be more than 20%. If you're going to blame inflation for devaluations, you need to have your devaluations aim around 20%. Marriott's kind of been at that range. IHG's devaluations kind of been at that range. Probably can see a little bit more on IHG. Hyatt, they definitely have stayed within that range. In terms of airlines, United, American, they're relatively within that range. Alaska's relatively in that range. I understand that inflation has happened and, costs do go up, but Hilton coming on there and saying that because of the 20% inflation rate we've received over the last few years, causes for a 60% increase in award rates, high-end award rates. Well, I think it sounds like more like they're trying to make up those costs now. Now that they ate those costs, they're going to try to make them up. And eventually we might see costs come down on award rates, but I doubt that because why would a company lower their costs if customers are already accepting the higher cost? But wanted to bring that up. But it was an interesting read this week, and in terms of devaluation, because we did see a lot of it last year, especially with Southwest, especially with Hilton. Wanted to bring that up, just, you know, food for thought, and want to hear your thoughts now on sign-up bonuses, the new cards, and specifically, I guess, this devaluation talk with inflation. What are your thoughts? You know, it kind of makes sense that, you know, you're devaluing it because of inflation, but you can't devalue it too much because of the inflation, because it didn't get that bad yet. But either way, I want to hear your thoughts and comments down below, and if you could hit that like and subscribe button, it would be greatly appreciated. Until next time, have a great day.